remember flashbacks, cash apps, now we flipping shit, we could go back.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the NBA Recap. Yes, sir, back in the video. We're back in the episode, and man, oh man, all I gotta say is Pandemic P, way off P, playoff PU, playoff PEE, playoff P in the bed, PG 13%, man. Oh man. Let me stop. That's not funny. But at the same time, man, I'm just gonna get right to it, man, because I've been wanting to talk about this game to talk about this game since last night, man. I really gotta get into this game, the Suns versus Clippers game 2, at the Phoenix Suns arena. Um, this is a game where the Clippers definitely should have won this game. Definitely should have won this game. Um, saw a lot of things going back and forth. We saw Devin Booker actually really struggled this game. Patrick Beverly was inserted to the starting lineup, and he actually did a pretty good job on Devin Booker. He shot like what 5 or 16 or something shit like that. I don't really know, but like yeah, it was really guys like Cameron Payne who had a really good game. Actually, his career high in the playoffs, even though he hasn't been in the playoffs that many times. Well, he did it with the OKC a lot, but like that was it. And he was really a role player. He really was literally the worst player in the league. Now he's thriving for the Suns. Ridiculous. DeAndre Ayton, a big game for him, man. His confidence just growing each series. It's really interesting to watch. I would say when I made my predictions, even though I didn't make a video about it, when I made predictions about this series, the whole playoff run for the Suns, I really said that DeAndre Ayton was going to have to be the X factor in these series, and he has been great in these playoffs. Like he has been showing it defensively, he's been decent. Offensively, he's been great. Man. He's been crashing the boards, doing everything he can to help his team win. I'm so glad that he's finally coming out of his shell and being the guy that we wanted to see, that #1 overall pick that was given in 2018. And it's really a pleasure to watch. Pleasure to watch DeAndre Ayton play. Um, now I'm going to have to break down the game. The game felt like it went on for 3 days. That's how long the game went. And I'm not joking. The last like a minute and a half was 33 minutes, 32 minutes or something like that. Legit ridiculous. When you have Scott Foster and Kane Fitzgerald in the same house, the same referees, you know that game gonna be at least 45 hours long. Because I couldn't stand the fact that it lasted so long. Like it was like I'm in Easter time. It lasted what till like 1 a.m. for that game to end? 1 a.m. So like it was ridiculous, man. The game was fine in itself, man. A lot of back and forth play. There was like a stretch in the fourth quarter where neither team can make a single fucking shot. It was really just like that whole like sluggish back and forth game. In the end, man, we gotta talk about first before I go dive back into something. We gotta talk about the Clippers, man. This team knows how to fight. Like they're a really good team. Like when their backs against the wall, they somehow they just become the greatest team of all time, better than the 2016 to 2019 Warriors, the 90s Bulls, the Cavs. Like they just become this ridiculous team that can square up with anybody, and it's so weird to watch, especially from last year where everybody thought this team was garbage. Like, this team was garbage and had no type of clutch gene, especially having a team with Paul George on it. They were like, bro, he's gonna fail, playoff P. Um, Not the guy. But now when their backs against the wall, they seem to just turn on the switch where it's just like, all right, let's dive in, let's lock in. It's really interesting to watch. But towards the end of this game, man, the Clippers were down like a significant amount of points. It wasn't like anything. It wasn't like double digits, but like it was a significant amount of points with like the time running down. It was gonna be hard to come back from. And Paul George went on this 9 point run. He was actually playoff P in that fourth quarter, or up until the end. He was hitting shot. He had a three. He had a mid range. He had a tough mid range. Got to the free throw line. Um, he was hitting shots that were out of this world, and it was really crazy to watch. Like he and Devin Booker were going tit for tat. In the final couple of seconds, man, Devin Booker hit a mid range to put them up, But then Paul George hit I think he had like a step back mid range to also put the Clippers up. Um, it was really really insane to watch how this team does these stuff like in the most rad ridiculous spaces in the world. Like Phoenix Suns arena, man, they're jumping, they're out of their minds, they're going crazy, and to play, and even in Utah in their last year, they're playing in such ridiculous like headspace. It's crazy. Reggie Jackson, aka Bobby Schmurder Curry Jr. Um, had another good game, 19 points. He's been shooting the lights off for the Clippers, man. The Clippers have really needed his production, and he has done significantly well. The Morris twin, another bad game. I think it was like what 3 of 11. Another bad game. Another bad game. I hear he's on some type of injury, so we don't know. And it's quite interesting to see how he has been how they lose when he is not generally doing his best. Kind of interesting to see that. But as far as the Clippers as a whole, I mean, Luke Kennard had a good fourth quarter. I think he had like 10 points. Boogie was in, didn't really do much of shit. Zubac was in. He had a mean block at like in crunch time. That was really good. Um, what else? What else? What else? Trying to think. Terrence Mann played some good minutes. There were some questionable calls, like the whole like Devin Booker, Patrick Beverly thing. That was a questionable call. I think it should have been out on Pat Bev, but it's not really a play like you go through that you review because you know it's probably going to be the Suns' ball, but they reviewed it. They slowed it down like to like I don't even know how slow they slowed it down, and then it did technically come off Devin Booker, but at the same time, people don't really call that because what do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? What do you do with that? So I think like it's just weird to see the plays reviewed 47 billion times. I don't think it really needs that much reviewing. But yeah, all in all, it was still a great game. Go back to the Sun side. I also want to shout out Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson had a good game. He was 5 of 5. Hit a like a deep three at the end of like the shot clock. I think it was in the fourth quarter. He hit a mean three. Like it was deep. And it was nice, you know. It's Cam Johnson, one of those guys that I really like to see on the court. Obviously, he's not gonna give you like 45 points, but he'll give you like 11, 10. That's really all. That's really all he needs to do. And a couple threes, play good defense. Like that's really. I really like Cam Johnson on this team. But yeah, everyone played pretty well as far as like have keeping this game interesting and keeping it like very like fine and cool and like it was fun to watch this game, watching the young guys play and watching Paul George do his thing. But it's time to get to the final two plays I want to talk about. Final two plays I want to talk about. Paul George. This is why the pandemic P way off P playoff PEE playoff P in the bed playoff P no. Like he missed two free throws, which would have put him up, I believe, three. He missed both. This is a guy that's like what an 89% free throw shooter in these playoffs, and he missed two. That's where like Pandemic P was trending because like he had such a good game, and then he threw it all away with those free throws. It's like man, people were on his neck, people were on his ass, and rightfully so. But at the same time, he still had a decent game. He still missed free throws that would have put him up. But it's whatever, man. But the out of bounds play at the end from Jay Crowder to DeAndre Ayton was really really nice. Like I saw like a lot of good things. Like the reason why I knew Jay Crowder was going to throw the pass because in this game, although he did not have a great shooting game, he had some really good pass to DeAndre Ayton throughout this game. Like he had a mean alley to DeAndre Ayton. Oh, it was really cool. And then obviously hit the one from the in bounds play. They pulled a Tyson Chandler. Like the Suns, I believe Devin Booker was the trigger man, and he threw it to Tyson Chandler. And when Tyson Chandler was on the Suns, I believe that was like 4 years ago. Um, it was really, really, really interesting to see. Like they ran that play. Monty Williams deserves all the credit in the world. Um, they because like it was like .9 seconds on the clock, and so you had enough time to turn and shoot. Probably one different booker, but they were like, no, let's just throw the out of bounds play, and it worked. And people thought it was offensive goaltending. Was not. Great game, great game. Jake Crowder, good pass. DeAndre Ayton, great throwdown. Like that was great. Like I said, I love seeing his confidence being built up every single game we play. He did kind of get exposed a little bit in the Lakers series, but as far as since then, like it's been great. Like it's been great. Like the Suns, if the Suns do make it to the finals, it would be like amazing. But like this is my issue with this is like this is the team that people were saying that like wouldn't have made the playoffs or didn't make the playoffs. If people forgotten that DeAndre Ayton missed 25 games of regular season last year, so if he had played those games, they're probably in the playoffs. But hey, that's not. Don't look at me. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at me. But yeah, Clippers, man, they're going back to Staples. Series obviously is not over, especially not over against these Clippers. They play hard. Can they get on the board? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But this Suns team is very different than the other teams. DeAndre is significantly more mobile than Rudy Gobert and and Porzingis, and more of an offensive threat. But yeah, man, that was it for this video, man. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is one of the shorter videos because not much analytic stuff to talk about. But it was a really fun game. I want to talk about it, and I wanted to get my videos back because I was slacked a lot for the past 3 weeks. But yeah, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, we out. Peace.
Like that, ripping off your wig, I don't condone that. Say that you my brother, you a bitch.